Welcome back to PyCode. This is Arnav Shukla from PyCode. Today we would be going over chapter 8 strings. So strings in Python are basically arrays of bytes which represent Unicode characters. And these are represented using square brackets. How do we change or delete a string? So strings are immutable, which means that they cannot be changed once they've been assigned. We can simply reassign different strings to the same name. So as you can see in this example, if we so this is these are used to basically find their position. So let's say at 5 A is there, but you can't change it. So it says that it doesn't support the item assignment. Then how do we create a string? These can be created by enclosing characters inside a single quote or a double quote. Now, this is called indexing of a string. What basically this does is that it's from left to right, it starts from 0 and it moves on, which is called forward indexing. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And from right to left, the last character is assigned as -1 and it keeps proceeding in the minus direction. So it's called backward indexing. So this is one example of strings. So it says my string is hello, then it's basically printing the string. So you can represent these strings using single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes, etc. So it's just basically printing hello. Now, how do we access a character in a string? So we can access individual characters using indexing and a range of characters using slicing. As I mentioned earlier, indexing starts from 0 and indexing a character out of index range results in an index error because it's not there in the given statement of the or the string which you've put in. And the index must always be an integer. We can't use any other type or it results in an error. And this has already been discussed, negative indexing. Okay, this is another example. So, so let's say over here, string 0 is P and string -1 is Z. String 1 to what basically this means is that we're indexing. So we use these square brackets for indexing. So let's say we look at string 0, right? So string 0 starts from left to right. So 0 will be P. Now -1, as I mentioned earlier, was backward indexing, or it starts from right to left. So in right, the first one is Z, right? And that's also -1. Now, these three signs act as start size. So there's basically just two, but usually there are three. One is the start size, one is the stop size, and one is the step size. So first is start, from where it starts. Second is where it ends. And one important point to note is that it ends at one place before. For example, if it says from 1 to 5, now we know that 1 is R because P is 0. So from 1 to 5, and we know that 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we know that 5 is A, right? But as I mentioned, the stop size is one less. So it stops actually one less than what it's supposed to do. So if it says 5, it will just print 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case will be ROGR. See, ROGR. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if it's starting at 5 and it ends at -2, then what it will simply do is that it will start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will start at A and it will end at -2. So this is -1, this is -2. So basically, it will start at A and just move on to M and not move on to I, which is actually -2 because it's not included. So, so this is basically few more examples of, let's say, program 3 to 5 is GR. All these you can go over and try them without looking at the solutions mentioned here below. Try attempting them on your own. So index error is basically if we try to access the index out of the range, or we use certain decimal numbers because they can only be integers, so they must be in range, or it results in an index error. So we can find the length of string. Basically, it just counts how many characters are there. Now, important point to notice that even the space is counted as a character, so it's 13, not 12. If we say A times 4, this is basically repeating the string four times because it's in strings. That's why we're repeating it four times. And over here, this is called string concatenation, where we're combining two strings together. This is called string slicing. What I just told you, that we're just slicing the string into different halves and just printing some important part of it. Now there are different string methods. So in Python, a method is basically a function which is defined with respect to a particular object. So here, one is the dot find string method, where you're basically finding the position of s. It tells you where the first position of s appears, which is at the index of 3. Few built-in methods are capitalized. Now, as you can see, it capitalized the first letter of the string. Left strip, right strip. What this basically does is that it removes all the left spaces. So it moves to the left, but the right spaces still remain. It's just the opposite in R strip, where it just removes the right space. The strip method removes both type of spaces, so all both from left to right, and we're just left with one string A. And we convert this into lowercase. So if let's say the entire word was in uppercase, it will convert it to lowercase. Even if one letter was anyways in lowercase, it will still remain in lowercase. Upper converts the entire word or the entire string into uppercase. Title just capitalizes the first letter of every word. So P, Praveen, P, Murigappa, M. So these become basically capital. Swap case is used to swap the case. So let's say P is capital here, so it will become small. R is small, so capital. So it just swaps the case. So every character case is changed. So upper to lower and lower to upper. That's another way to look at it. This is currently find. Let's say find here is basically tells us the index or the first appearance of that letter in the given string. And remember that these have to be in the string format when we're trying to find something. So it tells the index value, which is 4. And counting is how many times that the character, let's say E in this case, appears, which is 2, EE. Starts with is another one which checks if the string starts with a particular string or not. So if we see it starts with P and it doesn't start with A, so it's false because it doesn't start with A. And ends with just does the same thing. So it does end with EN, so it will print true, else it will print false. Is digit tells that if the string is digit numbers or not, and it returns a boolean value to a true or false. Here, the given string is not just only numbers, it's also alphabets as well, so it's false. This has to be both digits and numbers. So here, or either one. So here it's only digits. Here it's so this is numeric is just checking if the digits are there or not, and it returns a boolean value. So it's not alpha num, it's just is numeric, so it's very similar. So this is basically checking if the string is digits or not. Alnum is the one which I was just talking about, which checks if it has both alphabets and numericals or either. Is upper, or it's basically the same thing, it just checks if the given string is in uppercase or not. And we've discussed the find method. The string method just converts the number to string, the length, max, etc. Then we come to the max method, or the min method rather. Max is basically if it tells that the maximum alphabet would be V here because it has the max character. And when we arrange it from A to Z, in the alphabetically V is comes last, so it has the max value. Split just splits the given string into several words or substrings inside a list. We can also separate it into several words using the delimiter, which is this SSCH. So it separates it on that basis. We have the ORD method, which returns the ASI value for the character A. Next is the character method, which gives us the ASI value. So ASI value is 97, of 97 is A. A few practice problems for you to try on theory are what is string, what is forward indexing. I just discuss all of these. The built-in method, character methods, I've explained all of these. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you got to learn something new, and stay tuned in for more assignments, more videos for your reference. Thank you.